Showboating Sports, guys. Welcome back to the channel. You see the title, Loma's first fight back. So Loma versus Jamaine Ortiz. That's what we're going to talk about. So let's get to the video, guys.
Just they forgot who I am and what I represent, what I stand for. It's the king for a fall, but I outshot them all.
All right. So here we go. Here we go, guys. If you're new to the channel, please like, subscribe, and share. Make sure you guys hit the like button too. That'll be very helpful. We're gonna talk about Lomachenko, his first fight back from the war, right? So Lomachenko versus Mr. Ortiz. Mr. Ortiz is a little bit bigger fighter than Lomachenko. So I'm gonna go ahead and just tell you guys my quick assessment. I ain't gonna even hold you guys with this, man. So Lomachenko is back, came in, start off slow like Lomachenko normally does, right? Good fighter, starts off slow. He start working his way into it, fighting a bigger fighter, stronger fighter. Both these two guys used to be sparring partners, so they was familiar with each other, right? So Ortiz worked his jab. You know, he bullied Loma around a little bit. I think it was a really close fight. Fight could have went either way. Ortiz started at the beginning of the fight doing pretty good. Towards the tail end of the fight, Loma started coming back. Seemed like Ortiz was a little bit tired. That's really his first time fighting 12-round fight. So, you know, they knew that. So he was a little bit winded, right? Like I said, Loma did pretty good jumping in and out. You know, he missed a whole lot. Some rounds he didn't throw a lot of punches, but like ESPN always does, because Loma, let's just be honest, man. Loma is the great white hype. One of the great white hypes. Loma can never do anything wrong, right? Because when Loma had his first loss, ESPN said he never lost. Basically, they put him up there, kept him pound for pound number one. They don't give the other fighters that same stuff. They don't. They don't look out for the fighters like that. But that's just what ESPN does, because they know they can market this guy. They know that a lot of casuals and stuff like that can make money, will like Loma. So Bob Arum takes a fighter like Loma, he builds him up, and he makes sure this fighter, like he said, this fighter is just as good as Muhammad Ali, or as great as Muhammad Ali, which is a damn lie. Loma is a really good fighter. I can't say he's a great fighter because Loma hadn't shown me that he's great. He hadn't beat anybody great yet, right? There's a lot of people at 135. I'm not questioning Loma's heart, but I do know that Devin Haney was pushing for that fight, and Lomachenko's quote unquote team asked for the franchise belt per Mauricio Suleiman, who said that out of his mouth that Lomachenko asked, he requested for it. So when they asked Lomachenko about it, he said, well, hey, I didn't know about it, but guess what, man? You accepted it. Let me say it again. You accepted it. And that's what it is. That's what it is. You accepted that, and that's what happened, you know? And so the way I look at it is, if you accept it, if your team asked for it, you accept it, then you wanted that franchise belt. Then once you had the franchise belt, you still could have fought your mandatory, which was Devin Haney, right? But you chose to drop that belt, letting Devin Haney have it. Then I think he took on a fight. My mind might be a little cloudy on that, but then his next fight that I can remember was Teofimo Lopez. He lost that fight, said he had a torn rotator cuff, had surgery, wanted to come back, fight Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez didn't want any of that. So Teofimo was wanting to jump around and do other stuff. You know how fighters get belts. They want to act like they're great, but they want to run around and dodge fights and call it everything else. But anyway, and that right there is where I start looking at a fighter and say, does this fighter want to be great, or does this fighter want to be good, and does this fighter just want to be paid? Because guess what? You can do it all. And if you choose not to do it all when you're in the driver's seat, then that's on you. And I'm here to call you out on your bullshit. You know, that's just what I'm here to do. And because that's what we got to do. We got to tell it like it is. We can't give no fighter a pass. I don't care how much you like that fighter. That fighter is got to be held to the higher standards. The higher standards. And for those of you who feel like your fighter don't have to do that, man, then you and your fighter need to go ahead and chuck the roll, man, because this is about boxing. It's about warriors. It's about the best beating the best. And I kick that out there. Shots fired. Because if you're not, you and your fighter ain't gonna stand up to stand up and show that you great, then man, what are we talking about? Guys don't need to be in boxing. You guys need to be doing exhibition bouts. You know what I'm saying? So back to Lomachenko. He is the great white hype, or one of the great white hypes, who they keep protecting over and over and over again. You know what I mean? And right now it's getting out of hand, and he's back. And the reason why I say it's getting out of hand is because they were still trying to protect that guy. And at this point, you can't keep trying to protect Loma, because now Loma got to show and prove, because Devin Haney is the undisputed champ. He didn't go, hey, let me go see these other options, but really, he doesn't really have options. So let me just say that he doesn't. He's been calling Loma out, so I'm going with that anyway. He called George Kambosos out. He went like he told Lomachenko from inside the ring, and that's what a true champion does. He goes and fights the best. So to prove he's the greatest, he wants to fight Lomachenko. Can he beat Lomachenko? I don't know. I just want to see the kid fight. I want to see both of them fight. They both deserve to fight each other and show who's the best, right? But I give Devin Haney heart, because Devin Haney been calling those guys out, right? And maybe he can't get out of this fight because he's got that third fight in his contract with Bob Arum. Maybe he can't, but he stepped in the ring. He walked up to him. Lomachenko saw how big he was and was like, man, this guy's like a heavyweight. Right. So Lomachenko was like, they asked him, were you going to be ready for this? He said, yeah. He said, I'll be ready. I mean, I'll not sure if I need another fight or not or whatever, but he said, I'll be ready. Right. So I don't know where Loma's head is, but we will find out. We know where Devin Haney's head is. Devin Haney said what he had to say. He exited the ring, him and his father, right? They called him out, showed up saying that he wants to fight. So Paulie Malignaggi, that is egg in your face, man, because you said that Devin wouldn't fight Lomachenko because that's one white boy that would beat you, Devin Haney. And what he's referring to is because Devin Haney said, I'm not going to get beat by a white boy, correct? Now, fighters talk a lot of trash talk, right? In any sport, basketball, football, wrestling, fighting, anything else, right? Adrian Broner once said, anybody can get it. Mexican can get it. African can get it. European can get it. He said, anybody can get it. He was talking trash. Now, listen, I don't know these fighters personally. I don't know where their hearts are, but to me, it seemed like it's trash talk, right? But either way it goes, Paulie Malignaggi called out Devin Haney on that. He brought it back up from when it was said a long time ago. But what's funny is Paulie Malignaggi never said anything to Lomachenko that Lomachenko should stop and go ahead and fight Devin Haney. Oh, they always talk bad about Devin Haney, right? But Devin Haney is saying what he's going to do and doing it. Regardless to whether if this dude pulls all this off or not, he pulled off undisputed. If he beats Loma, kudos to him, man. But Paulie Malignaggi, it's funny how he doesn't, certain fighters he don't call out. He doesn't call out Lomachenko when Lomachenko's on that BS. He doesn't call Canelo Alvarez out on his BS. And then he's got the nerve to have Roy Jones on his channel. To me, he had Roy on there like saying, hey, I need a black man on here to justify what I'm saying. So that's kind of him treating, to me, the way I take it is he's treating Roy like, hey, I need a black man on her, like kind of tokenish type stuff. Not saying Roy is a token by far. I'm not saying Roy is a token, but I say that's why Paulie Malignaggi said that in front of Roy, because I guess they might have talked, and Paulie's like, look, I'm calling Devin Haney out on that. You remember Devin Haney said that, so they went with it, right? Certain people might not have went with that. Certain people would, but it's like if you're going to call one fighter out, you got to call them all out. Don't stop with Devin Haney. And it seems to me that they're back to protect Lomachenko. And right now, you can't protect that man any longer. That man is at the end of his rope. His age is catching up with him. He's right there at the end. Either he's going to show that he's great or he's not. And I repeat that. Either he's going to show that he's great or he's not. Because right now is the time to do it. You got that young buck in your corner, young buck in the ring saying, man, I want to fight you, and I'm going to show you on fight night. The same thing he told George Kambosos, right? And I'm here for it. I said what I said, and I'm going to stand on it. That straight up, no chaser. Till next video, man, holla at your boy.